Okay, guys, so we're here today and we're going to have a look at the Battleborn Beta. Now, Battleborn's one of those games that wasn't quite sure whether I was going to play or not. When I saw it, it immediately screamed Borderlands to me. You know, this is Borderlands, but with more sort of character types. It's trying to do what I think is Overwatch is trying to do, sort of character-esque types, and demand that you basically play a game using certain classes, certain sort of different things, but with sort of less progression, less sort of what's the sort of word, sort of different weapon, less of the Borderland-esque weaponry sort of stuff, and more sort of simplified versions of leveling and so forth, which essentially it is to a certain degree, but it's definitely got its own sort of sense of character. It does, you can see you know, a lot of influence from Borderlands, like when it introduces the bosses and everything else like that, and the general sort of humor of the actual storyline that we actually played in this game. Overall, though, I'm impressed with Battleborn, but at the same time, I can just see the same things being redone over and over and over again. You know, I mean, I've never played Destiny, but it sort of looks like Destiny, where you're just basically taking on different missions, playing cooperatively, and completing them to a certain level. The story stuff, I admit, was a lot better than, say, the actual sort of general sort of deathmatch-esque things, for me anyway. But then that's me more. I'm more of a sort of a story single-player kind of guy, rather than a sort of multiplayer capture the flag, team deathmatch sort of thing. So overall, I think it wasn't a bad beta. It was quite a good beta, but I think some of its strengths are sort of lacking in sort of certain elements. You sort of feel, you know, that although the characters are explained to you, you need to actually play with the characters to actually understand what they're actually capable of doing. And it actually took me about 2 or 3 or 4 characters until I actually found a character that I could actually play well with. You know, it's definitely something that is going to it's something that requires you to play a lot of in order to get the hang of it. And sadly, the amount of time I have available to me to play games like this, certainly at least the beta, is quite limited. So with the time limits and everything, did I get a perfect experience of the game? I don't think so, but at the same time, I think I got enough of an experience to make a rough judgment and say that overall I'm not going to buy it, at least not straight away, because it's definitely more focused towards the cooperative, more online aspect, as opposed to where Borderlands you can play more a single player game if you'd rather. Yes, okay, granted, Borderlands is more fun with more people, but this game definitely sort of steers you straight towards the more you should play with this with other people kind of element. That said, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's sort of, if it came to a choice between sort of Doom and Battleborn, I think Doom wins it out for me because it promises a good single player-esque game. Battleborn less so, because of the actual sort of more online cooperative component to it. But I could be proved wrong and Doom sucks balls and then Battleborn is actually a great game. Who's to say? But anyway, that's my review of the Battleborn, guys. That's what I think. Let me know if you agree. And until our next installment of Cosmo Tries Games, and I completely stumbled over my words there, I'll see you next time.